his beginnings as a touring musician to becoming one of LA's most sought-after celebrity photographers, the journey of Storm Santos is anything but ordinary. Through his edgy yet accessible style, Storm captures not just faces, but the essence of the stories behind them. Stories of resilience, humanity, and connection.
Thank you so much, Storm Santos, for joining me here on AwareNow to share this space and share your story. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here.
So let's begin with this post of yours. You made a post that I saw on Instagram about offering free photo sessions for those who lost photos in the LA fires. It was such a generous and heartfelt gesture. I guess my first question is, what inspired you to extend that offer, and how has it shaped the way you see the role of photography in healing?
First and foremost, I'm from here in LA, born and raised. My grandfather worked at General Hospital here in downtown LA for 40 years. So, I mean, LA is a special place. And I think, people from all over the world come here. And I think that's like a really cool thing that a lot of people who are either, seeking dreams or at the very top to the bottom, kind of searching everything. And I think I have a lot of love for my city. And, actually the idea, I can't even take fully credit. I saw another photographer do it. His name's Andrew Levy on Instagram. And I was kind of in the midst of an evacuation, and we were trying to help a couple friends directly whose house burned down. And me and my wife were just kind of what do we do to kind of help? And while we're kind of in this, we were living out of 4 bags in my production studio in downtown. And then kind of we kind of got the okay to come back, but we were still on fire watch. So, and then I saw him post that, and I was like, I'm just gonna steal this. This is great. So there's other people doing it too, and I think a lot more people should do it. I think anybody who has the ability to give back in any way, especially giving back through art, and people who maybe don't even know that they need art right off the bat. Obviously get the stuff you need, get the clothes, find a place to lay your head. And I think not enough people gravitate towards what art can do to kind of, heal the inside stuff.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be able to, when I evacuated, I had just done it days prior, there was so much stuff I didn't even get to grab. So much. It was dog's wife, dog stuff, a guitar, and a server full of life's work, and that's it, we go.
Yeah.
So there was just so much, and I was like, man, this is the only thing I think my brain knows how to give. I'm if I lost, could have lost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos. So I was if this is what I can do to at least help immediately right now, I'm sure that'll give people at least a day to do something fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Right. So shout out to Andrew Levy for letting me see that post while I was in the sauna, and I was I'm just gonna steal this.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a bit about you. You transitioned from everything from a touring musician to working in television, now as a photographer, photographing some of the most well-known people in the world. Now, looking back, how do you think those earlier experiences with storytelling, whether through music or cinematography, have influenced your approach to photography?
My approach towards doing art was always just I never wanted to have a job where I had to clock in and clock out. So at a very young age, I was just I think art just kind of flowed through my body kind of naturally in the most non-egotistical way I could put that out there. I don't know, we're only here for so long, right? And I just didn't want to have to be doing something I utterly hated. And I know I have different paintbrushes in my pocket, that whether it being music or working in movies or doing photo and creating art, that's all the avenue my brain kind of works at, is just how could I just pay the bills, enjoy life enough, and make stuff that I'm really proud of. And I think that each one of those things played a role in me and growing up. And I've been being a working artist since I was 20. I'm 33 now, so it it's been hills and valleys, and I think it always will be, you know. And if you don't have hills and valleys, I think, and you're just on a hill, that's tiring too. I think the losses create the wins so much more foundation. You know what I mean? It gives you like a sense of like, oh, cool. Here's what I need to work towards. Here where I want to be. Here are the things I wanted to do. And I think I'm really grateful that I get to make art as a living. I'm grateful every day for that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and what you do, it's phenomenal. Your work is phenomenal.
Thanks.
Let's talk more about your style, because it's been described as edgy yet accessible, kind of a rare balance there, perhaps. How do you approach capturing that kind of duality in your work, especially when you're working with celebrities who are often portrayed as larger than life?
Right. You know, and I think I have some larger than lifeness to me. I mean, I think that I think that's the beauty of a lot of people here in this town that get to work in this business, is like, it's a lot of people who are larger than life and get to kind of hang out and make stuff together. And I think that's the real beauty of it. And I think I'm such a huge movie fan. Like, movies are kind of my movies are kind of my home base for everything. Like, I think the stories that us as human beings get to tell each other, and like, you can walk out of a movie theater being totally stunned, and at least for me, I can walk away from a movie that really has an impact on me for 2 weeks, either thinking about it visually or the storytelling or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what really kind of drives my style, is like, I want things to feel like, yes, I know that person or whatever artist is there. Like, you're like, I understand that is a human being for me, but I want it to feel a little like just slightly removed from like reality a little bit. I mean, I don't want to sound so pompous, but just a little more, you know, everyone's a little larger than life. If you're here, like, I want people to show that it is them, and whoever's in front of the camera gets to feel like their true self. But then all of my influence of just like every single movie that's like really affected me, I want that to kind of like come through a little bit. I love movies, and I love what they get to do. And I think being able to work with people who also get to make such incredible movies and TV shows and art and all of that stuff kind of gets to like into this little pressure cooker, and whatever comes out. Sometimes I don't know how it comes out, but it comes out pretty consistently. I think I'm grateful that I have a voice that like I've tried to do different things before to like fit different molds, and like, it just, I don't know, my body doesn't let me do it. My brain doesn't let me do than what I know how to do.
Well, what it does is phenomenal. You know, you've spent your career creating images that are likely to outlive us all. The next question here is, what does the word legacy mean to you? I guess, how do you feel your photos contribute to the stories people leave behind?
I mean, I hope they last that long. That's all we can really hope for. I mean, if I died tomorrow and all I had were images, I think I'd be pretty proud of the things I've made. And I hope that the people who have made them with me are proud of them too, that it represents them, and the people who've also collaborated to make those images on the other side of the camera are also proud of those things. So I think the people I made them with and the people who are directly connected to me, those are the ones I care about the most. That like, if they looked at those images and said like, that's it, cool, that's what he made while he was here, like, I'd be pretty proud of that. And I think that's, if you can be proud of the work that you make at the end of the night, I think that's pretty good. I mean, not every night, but for most of the, you know, self-loathing artist journey.
Yeah.
I hope they last. I mean, that's kind of the goal, right? I try to shoot stuff that lasts longer than press cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like preserving that moment, right?
Right, yeah.
Not be replicated.
And a lot of the times, you know, when we're shooting like actors who are promoting movies or vice versa, any of that stuff, I mean, that's like those are big moments in those people's lives too, you know? And I want it to feel like such a snapshot for them. And they look back and be like, wow, I was either going through this or XYZ. Those are the things where even I look at photos of myself and my wife, or you look back now, especially from like, we're in an age where like you can look at images, being an adult, looking back at 10 years of yourself, also being an adult, and you're like, wow, where was I when these moments happened? You know, and you kind of look back and you're like, wow, lots of life has happened since then.
lots,
Right.
lots of lifing, yes.
Yeah.
There was one more question that I wanted to ask you today, Storm, and that was your work, as we just mentioned, captures moments that tell stories that evoke emotion. But if you could leave one message, so it's like your own photograph in words, for those to see the world through your lens, what would it be?
I mean, I think that's like, that's like an onion. It's like multi-layers to that question. Yeah. I think if you were to boil it down to just onion powder, I think I want more people to like create art. If you can get inspired by my art to like go out and make any type of art at all. I see lots of folks who like have never even wanted to touch art in any medium at all. And I think if more people put their pen in ink a little bit, I think this place would probably be a little bit softer and probably a little bit more like loving to each other if you can give that kind of stuff in any capacity. I mean, even looking at Los Angeles now, seeing so many of my artist friends giving back, and not even with art, just I think artists tend to give back whether they know it or not. Either in setting up, my neighbor, she's an incredible florist and does all the hugest stuff in Hollywood for it. And her entire home right now is a driveway full of just like come by and pick up free clothes for people who are affected by the fires. And I think art gives you the mindset to want to do that versus just kind of being, living a little more self-serving kind of in a lane life. And I think everyone should kind of, try it in any capacity, try it. I think it creates community. I think it warms this little weird fire that are in people. I think everybody has a pilot light, and sometimes you just got to turn the knob a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so beautifully said. Well, here's to, yes, that pilot light, turning it up and to seeing what can be, what's possible.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's possible. Like you said, it's possible.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Storm, for taking this time, for sharing your story, for helping all of us become a bit more aware now. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.